Hey guys, we just had a 5.0 earthquake. Not a big deal. Can cause some damage around here, but I didn't feel it right here. But I'm out walking, so when you're walking, you really don't feel stuff like that usually. But anyway, today I want to talk about friends. Friends back home, more so. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because I had a friend call me the other day. He's a really close friend of mine. And sometimes friends, we don't talk to them very often back home. Sometimes the people you just really don't have much to talk about, but you still love them. They're still your friends. And I have a lot of friends back home like that I don't talk to a lot, but you know what? They're still they're still very close. They're very tight with me, and they do me favors when I call them or whatever, and I'll do them favors when I can ever do favors for them. I had a friend of mine. He works as a janitor back home. When I was working as a school safety officer, him and I kind of became friends. And I think it was before I left or after, I'm not sure when, I had him talking to this girl in the Philippines that I just became friends with online. And he started talking to her. I can't remember the timeline exactly when it happened, when I hooked him up with the girl, but he kind of liked the girl to the point where he actually come over and get married to her. And what was cool is the girl was from up north. She wasn't from around my area here. She was from up north. And he went up there. Now he's Portuguese. And he speaks Portuguese and he speaks Spanish. And he actually liked the lifestyle up there. And the funny thing is, I never thought he was gonna come down to visit me. Not sure why. Because sometimes I think, when your friends do things, if they come over here and they're that far away, and that's actually kind of still far away from us because it's north of Manila. But anyway, he made an effort to come down and visit me. And I always treasured that moment, and it was a guy who we weren't really super close friends, which kind of astonished me because I always thought of him as like, he was a friend. And he always will be a friend of mine. And I kind of treasure that relationship now because I found out what kind of a friend he really was. And he was one of those friends that, that you don't think he's much of a friend, but when in the end, he really truly is. And I was kind of astonished when he came here to visit me. It actually kind of shocked me. And I was really happy. It made me really joyful that day when I got to see him and see his girlfriend. And I wanted to go to their wedding, but at the time, the timing wasn't right. I didn't have much money. He wanted me to be up there for him. And I couldn't at the time because I had too much going on. I had some health concerns going on and a few other things. And I really wanted to be there for him. But you know something? The other day he called me and he asked me for a favor and I told him, yeah, I'd do it. And he's been waiting to get his wife back home for a long, long time because of the COVID. It's been like almost 3 years now. Since he married her. And that's a long time to be separated from your wife, but hopefully within the next 6 months they'll be together again. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping that happens for him. And I just want to put that out there because I have a lot of friends back home, and some of those friends are closer than my friends here, but I have a lot of good and close friends here too. I have Justin and Stanley and Gary and many other people here that I'm friends with, Pax and Cy and tons of other people, too many to mention. And we're really, really tight. We've got a tight group over here. And I hope it always stays that way. Because our group, we have Nathan. Nathan's a good guy. He's a friend of mine too. And we don't get to see him too much in the group. He likes to kind of stay on his own. And I respect that. Some people do like to be left alone, but they can still be your friend. I have a lot of friends back home that are kind of like that. They don't like to be bothered too much. They love the friendship, but they don't want to be bothered too much, because they got their own life. They're doing things on their own. They like having that solitude. And I respect that solitude sometimes because I've been there. I've had times in my life where I had to kind of step back from life a little bit and kind of take it in, pull my head together and get my world back. And some of the guys that come over here, Either they're trying to make their world here, or they're trying to collect their world, their pieces of whatever is left, or they're trying to retire here, or they're, you know, each person that comes over here has a different situation. We have guys that come over here with anxiety, and I'm not sure if I'd want to come over here with anxiety. That's why I tell people to come over here and see a therapist first or whatever. It's kind of a tough place to come here with anxiety because you're going to worry a lot when you first get here about everything. Rides, food, restaurants, cleanliness, germs, getting in an accident or whatever. You worry about these things here, especially when you got anxiety. You know, and I've seen these guys come over here. It's not a fun place to be in that situation, you know, like it's a very difficult place to be when you have that kind of anxiety. But you know something? When you're over here, remember this. Friends are always here for you. Make friends. That'll take care of that anxiety. Friendship is the key to survival over here. If you come here, like into our group, I mean, sometimes we have some people that are a little bit strange or a little bit different or whatever. We kind of deal with it, you know. Some people we can't help. We just can't help them. You know, because of their situations, we just can't help them. Their situations beyond our control, because a lot of people don't listen to me when I tell them, when you come here, you need to have your head together. When you get off that plane, you have to leave that baggage back home. A lot of people bring that baggage here and they forget to leave it there when they come here. And if you bring that baggage here, man, it screws up your life here. It's like starting off on the wrong foot here for sure. I mean, yeah, friends can alleviate some of that pain, but you know something? You got to alleviate that pain by leaving that crap back. And we talk about that a lot. Friendship has a lot to do with it. When you start off a good friendship over here, I think that's key over here, because for me, my friends have been my saving grace over here. My family has been my saving grace. A lot of guys that come over here, some of them come over here, they have a girlfriend to start off, and it becomes a bigger relationship later on. Maybe it's just a friend in the beginning, but it becomes something much better and bigger later on. And you know something? I notice that the guys that have the girlfriends succeed way more. You know, or have a friend over here. They have a guy friend over here that's just a friend, and you know, that helps them. It helps them gain a foothold over here. It helps them get situated because the person's telling them, hey, this is what you need to do. You need to do this, Joe, or you need to do that, Bill, or whatever. You know, that's what we need. The friendship is everything here. You know, sometimes just having somebody that you can call on the phone back home can make all the difference over here by having Magic app or Magic Jack, or some calling app on your phone where you can call up your friend back home and say, yeah, I'm having a few problems today, and just be able to unload some of that stuff. Some guys over here, I would actually go as far as to tell them that it might be worth it. And sometimes people look at themselves as weak when they get a therapist or whatever. But sometimes it's worth it to have somebody that you can unload with and talk to. And it may be worth it for you to have that therapist over here. It may be worth it. It could be your saving grace. Maybe you do need meds for anxiety or something like that. And that therapist, or maybe a psychiatrist or whatever, I would recommend a therapist so you can talk the things out, so you can sit there. Therapists are a lot cheaper. Just go there, talk it out, have a counselor or have a pastor or whatever, or some friend or whoever that you can sit there and you can spill your beans with and be honest with them and tell them everything, tell them what's bothering you. Somebody that's not going to go back and tell other people, though. Don't pick the wrong person. Otherwise, that's going to destroy your peace here. Because there's always some dickhead out there who's got a big mouth, who's going to be like this here, chitter-chattering about your stuff that you confided in them with. And you got to be careful of those people. Make sure it's somebody you can truly trust. A pastor, a deacon, a therapist, or a truly good friend. I've had friends before, even a couple here, that I've confided in. And they shoot off their mouth about stuff that was private and personal. And it kind of bothers you. And it can make your situation worse. Fortunately, it was something that wasn't that big. So it really didn't affect me that much. But I just want to throw that out there, guys. Friendship in the Philippines can be your therapy sometimes when you have issues. God bless, guys. Take care.